Hey there, Brandy here, helping you create your healthy lifestyle, one that you can sustain, one that's realistic. Super excited to be on this journey with you as we are on day 2 of the Nourish Your Body and Mind 5-day Jumpstart. So, we talked yesterday about whole foods. We learned how important they are for us, what they do for our body. And we're going to work on adding in one more whole food. And hopefully, you found that to be pretty easy and pretty successful. I'd love to hear about your success and your thoughts down below. So feel free to share those. For today, day 2, sugar. And it's a little bit of a sensitive, possibly for some of you. Sugar. Also, want to touch upon your relationship with it. But I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about this thing. And sugar, and it's a simple carb, right? We have natural sugars, we have artificial sugars. Each one has its own molecular structure. So our body handles each of those differently. Totally affects our health and our blood sugar. And what happens is there happen in our body with sugar, and there are things that happen with our mind. Okay, it definitely has an effect on our brain as well. So I want to talk about the body first. With our body, when we're bringing in sugar, our pancreas has a job of releasing insulin. And it releases that insulin so that our fat cells can open up and absorb any extra sugar that we have, so it doesn't wreak complete havoc on our system. So it's kind of like a security system for our body, for those times when we might have a little bit too much. The problem is, so many people are having a little bit too much all the time. And your pancreas wants to release insulin and the fat cells want to open up. But the problem is, if it's absorbed too much sugar already, it's resistant. It can't take in anymore. So that's how insulin resistance starts. And there's 10.5% of the population that has diabetes, which means that they're showing resistance to insulin. And it all links back to this thing called sugar. So I just want to make you aware of that. A lot of people don't really know the details to it. So I just wanted to share that with you so you have that awareness and that understanding. But I also want to share with you what happens with your brain. So sugar, because when we have sugar, it makes us feel good. It actually releases dopamine, our feel-good hormone. And because the sugar releases the dopamine and we feel good, we want more sugar. So our body starts to crave it. So we bring in more and more. But what happens is we build up a tolerance. So we need more sugar to make us feel good, and more and more. So what happens is you actually have your brain create a desire for it, because sugar is actually addictive. It is. And it's because our brain wants to feel good. Our brains are pretty amazing organs. It blows my mind. I love learning about the brain and how it works. And really, the brain wants to keep us safe and it wants us to feel good. It does simple things like that. And because sugar makes us feel good, we're going to want more and more. What's interesting is there's actually scans of the brain of someone on too much sugar and someone on cocaine. And it highlights the same parts of the brain. So it shows that kind of addictive quality to it, and how our bodies respond. So you end up in this kind of like battle, right? Where your body wants it, well, your brain wants it, and then your body's like, well, but I can't have any more. We're maxed out here. So it's an interesting process, and because it creates that craving, it's really difficult to have a healthy relationship with sometimes. So it just takes work, and sometimes we don't want work. We want easy, but easy doesn't always create the results that we want. So with sugar, I'm going to ask you to just spend a little time thinking about your relationship with it. When do you reach for those sugary snacks? Is it sometimes, does it have to do with emotions that you're feeling? Maybe times that you're stressed throughout the day? Is it just something that's just become part of a routine? It's just something that you're used to having at a certain time of the day, a certain way. So your relationship with it, when you're craving and take some of those. So really going to help you kind of navigate this whole thing. It's really interesting because you can try look for products with less sugar, and you may think, if you don't know how to read a label and they're actually really tricky to read, you may think that you've rocked it. I know the first couple of ingredients, that's the ones that there's most of. Companies know that we're getting savvy to that. So what they're doing is they'll put in like 4 different kinds of sugars in it. Because if they have a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit makes up a lot of sugar, those little bits are listed way farther in the label. And a lot of times they're listed that we can't even identify. They're long, funky words, and they'll change them a lot so that it's hard for us to track what they are. So definitely something to be thinking about as you're navigating sugar. So for today, I just want you to really think about sugar, think about your relationship with it, think about when you're reaching for it, and I want you to think about what is the most sugar-filled snack, treat, drink. For some of you, it might be your soda. Is that you are reaching for the most? And I want you to think about how you can replace that with something different. So, for example, if you are one of the people that loves your soda and you have like 4 cans or bottles a day, then what if you replaced one with a glass of water? That's making a pretty good step right there, don't you think? So just think through those strategies. Not sure what to replace it with? Goodness, reach out and let me help you. I would love to guide you on that. So definitely do that. Love to hear your thoughts on sugar down below. So share those. Like I said, this one is a little tricky and it can be a little sensitive, but I just want to help bring you a little bit of awareness to this whole thing and a little bit of education of what happens with your, so that you're aware of what's taking place. I hope that you have a fabulous day, one that's a little less. If you need anything, please, I look forward to hearing from you down for sugary snack might be. What's your challenge as it relates to sugar? And let's work together to navigate that. I hope that you're having and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow as we navigate day 3. Have a fabulous day. Bye.